Transformation in 3, 2, 1.
Hi everybody, Heather Stargazer here to do a reading for the collective for whoever, whenever, wherever. Tonight is the solar eclipse in Aries, or today, depending on what time of what time zone you're in, which means that it's the new moon in Aries, and this is like a big astrological reset button, right? We had our time in Pisces new moon to really focus on the interior space. What are we dreaming about? What's super dreamy? What's in that subconscious mind, right? Taking that deep dive, and then we get the Virgo full moon that allowed us to really meticulously and practically, right, go over all of those things that came up in the Piscean new moon time, right? New moon time. Sorry. But it's like we took that deep dive, we brought all that stuff up and out, we took a good look at it. Virgo is about medicine, it's about healing. We really took those things apart and itemized them maybe in the real world and looked at how they were affecting us, what needed to stay and what needed to go, right? And then now we get the new moon in Aries. And this is the time where we can take those things that we've learned, the subconscious things, the things we've healed, the things we've itemized, right? And really examine who we are. How did you get to this place? How did you get to be you, right? How did all of those things up until this point accumulate into the person that you are now, right? And there's a lot of things that we need to leave behind, a lot of things we've grown out of, right? And a lot of things we're growing into. And that's what that eclipse is about. It's kind of taking that moment of darkness when the light should be shining, right? And eclipsing out all of those things that are no longer necessary, whatever things might have been making us unhealthy, right? And we've really had the time to look at those things, and now is the time to be yourself. Be yourself. If you're a fire sign, if you're an Aries, you're going to be feeling it. There's going to be a lot of things that you need to confront, right? Or that would like for you to confront them. Take a deep breath. Don't let them get you out of character. Don't let them get you out of your composure. Stand firm in yourself. You have accomplished this much this far, right? All right. Because then we're going to be going into the Libran full moon, and that talks about our relationships with others. So we got to get right with ourselves so that we can get right with others. And then that true communal evolution will begin. And we think it's already begun, but there's, first things first, you got to clear stuff out. You got to clear stuff out to make room for the new, and then you got to clean it, right? That's the Virgo. So here we go, Aries, full moon, first house. Everyone, whether you have Aries in your chart or not, everyone has a first house. It's who are you, right? And that's kind of what we're looking at right now. I got the Wild Reflections deck. All right, these reflections are going to be wild. My ancestors, spirits, guides, what messages do you have for the collective today? Wow. Talk about Aries, full moon. New moon, coming out in the new moon. Here's the Emperor. The Emperor, this is the Aries card, talking about taking control of situations, taking control of ourselves in the situations, and being, I heard pragmatic, right? I also heard pliant. So there could be some things 333 where we need to really examine our rigidity and see where we're being a little bit too firm, right? That doesn't bend, breaks. So we need to be very firm in our rooting, but movable in the wind. And that's how the Emperor is. He's considering what is needed for the realm. And I think that's where you're at right now. Let's get some more cards here. Wow. Emperor coming out with this Aries new moon energy. And then I got this card it's just like an extra card in the deck, and it says unlock the secret mysteries of tarot. Well, the tarot is a road that goes within, right? And it takes us along the hero's journey or the fool's journey so that we can grow, progress, and learn, right? Our spirit can get to a higher level of consciousness, and we're doing that through the tarot. So there could be messages either in this reading. I hope there's messages in this reading that ring with you, but there could be messages coming through in other ways. Sometimes the tarot speaks to me when I'm not reading tarot. I just see something, identify a symbol that is relatable in the tarot, and then that's speaking to me without any cards, So 444, That's the Emperor's number 4, our foundations, our stability. And then we get the Page of Cups. What's this one? 8 of Wands. Well, nice messages coming through. Could be an apology. It could just be somebody sending you, I heard approval. Like they're very happy about what they see you doing. They're very happy about who you are. There could be, let's get some more 8 of Cups. Now we have 2 8s out. That 444, and now we have 2 8s out, really talking about strength, stability. I heard responsibility. Now we have the Death card out. 3rd house, number 13, 1 + 3 = 4. This is a lot of stuff going on here. And then the Ace of Swords comes out, which is really interesting because it's a bow and arrow, right? But it talks about putting us in that right direction. Right. High Priestess on the bottom. Things that have yet to be revealed. Secrets. Things that are kept under, under the collar. Well, interesting. And like knowing which way is the correct way to go, in that there is no right or wrong, but there is a way that will lead you out, and a way that will keep you there, and a way that will lead you further in. And I think that that's going to be individual, obviously, for each of your situations, but it's talking about the leading of us out here. We've got the Emperor above the 8 of Cups. Aren't these cards beautiful? The Emperor above the 8 of Cups, and this is emotionally walking toward something. So if we're going to be, we could walk in, we could stay where we are. No, let's walk out. Let's go out into the world emotionally, right? You've decided who you are, right? If you haven't yet, this is the opportunity. This is the opportune time for that, right? To take charge of your situation. This could, in a more mundane sense, also talk about like leadership leaving, or leadership moving towards something that is more fulfilling, right? Paternal aspects coming on here. Father type figures, doesn't necessarily have to be your father, could be, right? But it's somebody, the divine masculine, who stands in his charge in a healthy, responsible way for the best interest of all of those who he's leading. Okay, there's a lot of leadership energy here, and this feels like moving toward, like, the things. 8 of Cups is the things that they are a bit emotionally fulfilling. They do give us some level of satisfaction. We are emotionally connected to them, but there's something lacking. There's something else out there that we want to go to, right? Your wish, your 9 of Cups. And so this talks about moving in that direction, leaving something behind, but more than that, walking towards something new. And then you get the Page of Cups over the Death card. Huge transformations, irrevocable change, things that can't go back. Once they go in this direction, they can never go back again. And I think that there is a lot, again, talking about that Piscean new moon, what needs to be kept and what needs to go, what's really going on in that dream state, in that subconscious mind, and then coming out. We've been through this process, right, to clear those things out. And so there has been a transformation. Once you see it, you can't unsee it. This is scorpionic energy. It talks about the 8th house. It talks about having like going into that spirit space and being reborn again, like not in the biblical sense, right? In the I can't ever go, once you graduate, you're not going back to high school unless you go through a bunch of college and you come back as a teacher, right? Then that's different. This is that apology. This is that sentiment. This is that, like that release of those things, but that weren't serving us, or that maybe helped us in the past, but we've grown out of them, right? This is lovingly leaving those things behind, lovingly embracing the new that's coming through here, that change, right? And these messages that are coming through seem loving and positive because it's that Page of Cup, but they might be a little bit immature. They might be a little bit awkward, but they come from a place of love, right? 8 of Wands, messages coming through. Pages are messengers. You get this 8 of Wands, talks about quick moving communication. Generally, I feel like it's over the internet. This is something that like texts, emails, communications. I'm receiving some text messages from my daughter right now, and I'm like, wow, this my little Page of Cups, who I love so much, is sending me messages, and they're revealing a truth. I'm gonna get back with her in just a second when the reading's over, but this is talking about being honest and coming to a logical and truthful victory, right? We aren't talking about conclusions here. The conclusion already occurred. This is the new beginning, right? And moving toward those things, these messages that are coming through are going to bring you some sort of truth, right? That is enlightening and enlivening. And again, with that Eight of Wands, it like eight, right, brings in some strength, things that give us something to go on, give us something, I heard, to chew on. And since something to chew on, we're going to use the Gourmet Tarot. Be forewarned, sometimes they make me hungry. They're very yummy cards. I was going to use those other ones, but no. Those other cards are a little bit dark and very, very powerful, and we are lightening up. Because another thing about Aries and the Aries full moon is that they're childlike. Aries is a very childlike sign. They are very enthusiastic. It has a great sense of humor, very funny, and very, very playful, like dolphins, right? And go back to that childlike wonder, go back to that childlike fun. Page of Cups, right? Something just ended. And the thing that ended was very mature. It had reached its maturation point. And the new thing is just brand new. So if we were, in our old state of, curmudgeon-y, grumpy, get off my lawn kind of energies, and maybe it wasn't us, but it was others around us. I just saw 1111. This is the new. The refreshing new. It's playful. It's like a father and child here, but you are both. You're both, doesn't matter your gender, doesn't matter how old you are, doesn't matter if you have kids or not, to yourself right now, to your previous self, and to your future self, you are the Emperor and the child. For Emperor, wow, Eight of Wands, this is coming out twice. Look at that, the Fool. Again, Aries energy, double confirmation about that new. Look, it's an egg. It's an egg. What are you going to do with it? Are you going to bake a cake? Are you going to make a fried egg? Are you going to let it hatch and become a chicken? So many possibilities. Maybe you never had an egg before. Maybe you aren't quite sure what to do with it. Eight of Wands, double confirmation. This message could be coming from a boss, or, like I said, a father figure, or an Aries, right? This message is coming to and from communication. The Fool is major arcana for Aries and Aquarius. That's that far-reaching, future-focused thinking, that Aquarian energy here, and a lot of communication coming through. Wow. Let's find out about this Eight of Cups. Oh, I feel like I'm going to sneeze. Excuse me. That's a sign. There's like a refreshment there, right? Eight of Cups, please. What is this Eight of Cups about? We're reading these two cards again. It says Seven of Pentacles on the bottom. Something to be patient about. Two of Swords, Page of Wands. There was a blockage somewhere along the way, right? Two of Swords. Blockage. It's funny, I'm Armenian, and this is how we were taught to show that we were done with our food. To put your knife inside the tines of the fork and cross them on your plate. And that way, Grandma knew you didn't want any more food. She'd keep feeding you, right? And there's that blockage there. And it's like that, it's actually, you could just pick them up. Like, this is the idea of the Two of Swords, is that 1333, that we are blinded to the ability to move forward. We can't see what's going on around us. We stand here in this defensive mode because we can't really see. And again, more news. Page of Wands. That's the enthusiastic, big news deliverer of. Now, 2 pages, Eight of Cups, or Eight of Wands twice. Messages are coming through today. And I feel like they're little bitty bits of information that fuel your enthusiasm, that fuel your excitement, and that show you where those blockages actually are, so that you can mitigate them, get around them, and again, talking about like going to see Grandma's house in the forest, there's a log, can't go around it, can't go under it, cash gotta go over it. Remember that when you're a kid? And it's kind of figuring out those things, like which way to go and how to get there. And it's exciting. Page of Cups, Nine of Swords, and at the same time it gives you a little pause for anxiety, because like, does this is this developed enough for it to really work? This talks about migraines. It talks about staying up at night. It talks about those intrusive thoughts, right? And this Page of Cups is like a bit of a balm for that. Putting some of those things at ease, some of those worries at ease. You know, it could just be having a conversation with a friend that's very comforting, right? About this ending, about this transformation. That's encouraging you. I'm hearing wild horses. Here you go. So there's there's something that's trying to pull back to keep you from, or the situation, take it as it resonates, from progressing, right? And Five of Swords with this Death card, that's the winning at all costs. That's competition. That's wordplay. Okay. People saying things, people throwing around information, people using information for and against something or someone. And there's a transformation in that. Like, even though it was difficult and not, you know, I'd say not painless, especially in the mental realm, there's a lot flowing here. There's a lot of anxiety, a lot of things to fix. But it's like this vortex, right? Like, here's the horses on the ground. And here's the tornado, and they're both going around and around and around and kind of capturing this person. And it's kind of at the will of those things, right? Five of Swords energy, while difficult energy to mitigate, you know, especially standing above this Nine of Wands here, it's like you win, but it's a hard fought victory. And it's something that really taxed you, taxed your thoughts, taxed your brain, gave you stress. But you are the chosen. You are the one who wins, that you're the one being seen by the big boss, right? Or by the organization. You're the one receiving these messages. And it's almost like they're telling you, we can see how hard this was. We can see how much has changed. And we want you to know you are still loved. You are still included. Here we go. We're going to get this Eight of Wands. What is this? Now tell us about the Eight of Wands. Tell us about these messages, please, Spirit. The Chariot. Wow, wow, wow. Moving forward, and it's a little cart. It's a little soup cart, right? Mobility, the return of mobility. This could be talking about, maybe it's communications about taking a trip now that you know where you're going. Eight of Cups, you're heading towards somewhere. There could actually be travel. And this is like organizing that, or the invitation to do that. I just saw 17, 17. 17 is the star. It talks about what direction are we going. It talks about getting our wishes fulfilled. This is our head and our heart on the same page. Cancerian energy, cardinal water. All right. Like, water is a powerful force. Your emotions are a powerful force. And when they're communicated, here's this waterfall here. When they're communicated clearly, it allows everybody and everything to get moving forward in a way that's, again, victorious. You got the Chariot, and the Eight of Wands here above the Ace of Swords. Ace of Swords is winning. Yes, it's a victory. It's a truth coming through. It's, again, a communication. Can you tell us about this Ace of Swords, please? Six of Pentacles. Wow. Wow. It talks about, you know, equal give and take, and being generous. And maybe your generosity with one thing, maybe it's your generosity with your time, with your character, with your knowledge, right? With the effort that you're putting through here, that could be your contribution, and what you're receiving for your participation is equal measure. Right? What you will be receiving back is very helpful to you, and what you're giving to the situation is very helpful to the other. And this truth brings that balance in, right? It talks about generosity, and it's asking you to be generous of spirit, and spirit will be generous of time, wealth. But it's really emotional, and it's really about the direction that you're going, like the fulfillment of the direction that you're going, because whatever it was that was painful is done and over with. This is like, stick a fork in it. It's done. It's done. I can't get any more done than that. Right? And intuitively, you know this. And maybe even if you haven't communicated it yet, or it hasn't been directly communicated because it's trying to keep you in this space, whether that be an actual function of someone doing something or your own fear, right? This enthusiasm, this messages coming through, allows you to really see what's done and what's starting. Interesting. And again, the unlock the sacred mysteries of the tarot, and we talked about this, that it could be some sort of message that's coming through, that, you know, has some sort of symbolism that you relate to something else, but it's being seen. So like when we see animals or we see a bird, or you could just notice someone wearing like a red cloak. I don't know what that's about. Maybe it's a sash or something, but like an indicator for you that spirit is communicating, spirit is working with you in these places, in these fields. We're going to get a wild harmonic, and then we'll pull a little affirmation from the Starlight deck to close us up here. Close up the reading. I always say that, and I got to be careful because we want to remember to stay open to the good, right? And even the bad, we don't want to stay open to its effects, but we want to stay, you don't be in denial about them, right? All right, ancestors, spirits, guides. What message would you like to share with the collective? What message would you like? Ooh. Cast about, water of shadow. That. And it has that feeling of being, you know, like thrown in all the directions. And again, sometimes it's difficult for me to find these cards in this book. As the flowing feeling of life falls into denial, damn. As the feeling of life falls into denial, one's sense of valid reference is lost. Losing ground or navigation points, and the availability to stay centered in a seemingly ceaseless arising of challenge. This card is an indication of losing oneself to the tumbling of the waves. Within this shadow, one becomes lost within themselves, feeling confronted on so many fronts and difficulty that they forget what they are made of. Ooh, never forget what you were made of. That's what this is reminding you of here and telling you to stand firm, okay? As the storm has its way with me, I am all too easily overtaken internally by the torrents. I begin to respond by attempting to flee from it, but there is nowhere else to go but here, and my failed attempts only stir me into deeper confusion and self-doubt. Inquiry, how do I allow myself to be grounded, ungrounded, and directionless? Oof. Well, I don't think that you are ungrounded or directionless, but again, that feeling of having your head and your heart on the same page gives you direction. And maybe the feeling of being cast about by unforeseen and circumstances that you aren't able to control, right? Everyone is subject to the death card. Everyone is subject to irrevocable change, and nobody can really change that back. And again, being honest with yourself about this, right? So that it doesn't overtake you or make you think that that's where you should stay, right? Sometimes I feel like we feel guilty for letting something go because we feel an obligation to continue to torture ourselves or torment ourselves over it. You have that's not helpful. That's not helpful. Don't do that. Okay. I said allow yourself to confront it. And again, that doesn't mean like aggro. That doesn't mean like doesn't mean like that. It means like, hey, this is going on. I see this is going on, and a change needs to occur. Or I'm willing to do the steps necessary to build the new thing. And that's being seen. It's almost like if there was a competition and you're winning the competition simply by your willingness to evolve and grow through it. Interesting. For each of you, it'll be different. Obviously, the messages are going to ring differently for everybody's different situation. But when it's time, when the messages do come through and things start moving forward, remember that your gifts, whether you be the one donating money or time, right? Or whether you be the one donating work or contributing information or contributing to the job, right? Whatever it is, the reciprocation of that value will be returned to you. and it will make a big difference to you. It's gonna really lighten your load. As I say, that light without the darkness will never see the stars. And I think that that's part of what this is too, the confrontation of that darkness, that Piscean, what was happening on the inside. The Virgo cleared it out. Now the Aries, who are you? Courage. Wish upon a star and release all limiting beliefs. Don't be afraid to release those feelings. Don't be afraid to let go of those things that are confining you, holding you back, right? In that darkness, you started to see where the cracks of light were coming in. You could start to feel that little wisp of wind, and that gave you the direction to follow. Look, inspire. There's a fire inside you burning brighter than the sun. And it's shining through this darkness space. And again, look at that. Like, for some reason, those look like ram's horns. Like, those could be Aries. This is the path to yourself. First house. The self. How do you identify? And it could be muddled by all the emotional jargon, by all the emotional waves, by the pulling of the back and the forth. Right. This is about like allowing yourself to move through those spaces. Don't be in denial, because you're going to be really inspired by yourself. I think other people are already seeing you as an inspiration. Hell yeah, Page of Cups, Page of Wands. They're already seeing you as an inspiration. They want to assist you on your way. On the bottom, look at eternity. Give yourself permission to slow down. In the mental, okay? I feel like your thoughts are racing. Give yourself permission to slow down in the mental. All right? And be you. You just do you, boo. Aries new moon. That's what it's about. All right? I hope that was helpful. I hope that you got something out of it. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for remembering to hit the like and subscribe if this resonated with you, and letting me know how it did. That would be awesome. I'm curious, super curious. And I hope that you guys have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful rest of your day. Happy eclipse. Bye.
Transformation in 3, 2, 1.